Welcome to Pod 4 Journal Club, where we break down some of the most exciting new research out there. And today we're looking at something I think is a real game changer, an AI that might finally, actually understand what we're asking for.
You know the feeling, right? You're trying to make sense of, say, thousands of customer reviews or a mountain of articles. You use an AI tool to find themes, and what do you get? A random cloud of words that barely make sense. It's just so frustrating and a huge waste of time. So, today we're diving into a paper that takes this problem head on. Here's the plan. First, we'll talk about why current AIs miss the mark. Then, we'll look at a new human-centric solution. We'll peek under the hood to see how it works, check out how it performed in testing, and finally wrap up with why this all really matters. All right, let's get right into it. The core of the problem is this. Most AI topic models, well, they don't care about your goal. They're just designed to find words that often appear together. They're looking for statistical patterns, not trying to answer your actual question.
And this slide just says it all. On the left, you've got a typical AI. You ask it, what's bothering people on this forum, and it spits back, house, sister, father. Okay, sure, those words might appear near each other, but what does that tell you? Nothing. But now look at the right. The new model gets it. It gives you breakup struggles, health issues, academic stress. That's not a word cloud, that's an actual, usable insight. The difference is just night and day.
So how do we get from that useless list of words to a real answer? Well, the researchers behind this paper had a brilliantly simple idea. What if? What if we could just tell the AI our goal from the very beginning? And that's exactly what they did. They created a whole new task called Human-centric Topic Modeling. The big idea here is that your goal, the question you're asking, isn't an afterthought. It's baked right into the process from step one. You're not just throwing data at a black box anymore. You're actually guiding it. You're in the driver's seat. Now, for this to actually work, the researchers said the AI's answers have to pass a tough three-part test. First off, they have to be goal-oriented. They have to actually be about what you asked. Second, they've got to be interpretable. You need to be able to read it and go, I get it. And finally, they have to be diverse and provide maximum coverage, meaning the AI can't just keep repeating itself. It has to cover all the different relevant things people are talking about. Okay, so to meet this high bar, the researchers had to build a brand new model. They call it GCTM-OT. And this is where things get really cool. So let's pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick. The model basically has this clever 5-step process to zero in on what you want. It starts by scanning the text for goal clues, anything that seems related to your question. Then it kind of rephrases things to understand them better and makes a first guess at some topics. But steps 4 and 5, that's where the real magic happens. So step 4 is all about drawing sharp lines between topics using something called contrastive learning. It's kind of like teaching a kid. You show the AI 2 stories that are very clearly about breakup struggles, and then you show it one about academic stress. By seeing what's similar and what's different, it learns to draw a really clear boundary between those two concepts. And then comes the grand finale, step 5. It uses a really cool mathematical technique called optimal transport, which is basically an expert matchmaker. It takes all the topics it found and all the goal clues it collected back in step 1, and it finds the absolute perfect, most efficient pairing between them. This guarantees the final result isn't just a coherent topic, it's a topic that's perfectly aligned with what you asked for in the first place. Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, but the proof is in the pudding, right? Does it actually work in the real world? Well, the researchers threw it into the wild. They tested it on 3 huge, messy datasets from Reddit, forums about what's bothering people, the Tesla Model 3, and academic life. And wow, the results speak for themselves. This table shows how it did on the what's bothering you data. Now, coherence just means do the topic words make sense together, and goal similarity means is this what I actually asked for? And as you can see, GCTM-OT just knocks it out of the park. It didn't just find topics that made more sense, it found topics that were way more relevant. And here's what that actually looks like. Instead of that jumbled mess we saw earlier, the model delivers a perfectly clear topic, breakup struggles. And just look at those keywords: cheat, breakup, girlfriend, betray, partner. Every single one is laser-focused. This is the kind of understanding you can actually use. It's amazing. So what's the big takeaway? Why should you care? Well, this is so much more than just a cool academic paper. This new way of thinking about AI has some massive real-world implications. I mean, just picture it. A company trying to figure out why customers are unhappy could ask, find me all the topics related to charging speed instead of just searching for the word battery. Scientists could sift through patient forums to understand concerns about a specific side effect in minutes, not months. We're talking about a leap from basic keyword searching to true intent analysis, understanding the ideas in the data, not just the words.
This research really opens up a whole new frontier for how we can work with AI. And it leaves me with a pretty big question. Now that AI can finally start to understand what we really mean, what are the most important, most difficult problems we should ask it to tackle next? Thanks so much for geeking out with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to Pod for Journal Club so you don't miss the next one.